guys, welcome back to another edition of Max and Nicky 1000th Time Reactions,
where we react to a song after listening to it for our 1000th time.
We release 3 videos a day.
Every day.
So please hit that subscribe button.
And ding that post notification bell.
So you don't miss out on any content.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to listen to right now, Nicky? As you comb your hair.
Before I tell you that, I just want to apologize for maybe the state of my hair right now. It's kind of messy.
I don't think they are paying much attention.
And such is the case probably on all the videos we're releasing today.
Or maybe they're paying attention, but don't think any less of you.
Okay.
Or don't think that your hair is in bad condition.
Anyway, today we're going to be listening to, or not today, but for this video, we're going to be listening to Last Kiss by J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a great song.
This is classic, one of those kind of...
Well, we'll talk about it after.
Okay, sure.
If you're new to the channel, what we do on here is we listen to the song all the way through without stopping so we don't interrupt the intention of the artist.
And then afterwards, we'll discuss our thoughts about the song, our reaction, and
go into some in-depth analysis.
And maybe talk about a little bit of the history of the song and the band, if we should know anything about it.
As we always do, we'd like to mention that we have another YouTube channel called Max and Nicky, on which we perform oldies, tunes, jazz standards, and originals in that vein.
And we've got comedy videos on there as well. Mm-hmm. But for right now, let's take a listen to Last Kiss by J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers.
For our 1000th time.
Here we go.
Well, where, oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I got to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world. We were out on a date in my daddy's car. We hadn't driven very far. There in the road, straight ahead, the car was stalled, the engine was dead. I couldn't stop, so I swerved to the right. I'll never forget the sound that night, the crying tires, the busting glass, the painful scream that I heard last. Well, where, oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I got to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world. Well, when I woke up, the rain was pouring down. There were people standing all around. Something warm running in my eyes. But I found my baby somehow that night. I raised her head and then she smiled and said, "Hold me, darling, for a little while." I held her close, I kissed her our last kiss. I found the love that I knew I would miss. But now she's gone, even though I hold her tight. I lost my love, my light that night. Well, where, oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I got to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world.
You know, this song sort of does go along with the whole Halloween theme. That sort of, you know.
Well, not really, actually, but it is one of those classic dead man curve, you know,
it's
kinds
something
of
that
songs,
you would
hear.
You would hear this kind of song if you're like watching a period piece from the 50s and there's a car
Late
crash.
50s.
There's a car crash.
Or
but
early 60s. Oh, but this is from 1964, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
1964. Mm-hmm. No way.
Yeah.
This sounds like one of those late 50s
I believe.
songs.
I'll double check right now, but I believe it was 1964.
Well, this is kind of one of those songs that you would hear, like that you in a film. There's like a car crash in the 50s, and this would be still playing on the radio. Like somehow the radio is still working, you know, after the car crash, and this is the kind of song that would be playing on the radio. And what's funny, well, not funny, but what's interesting is that is what this song is about. It sounds like a song that you would hear after a car crash in the 50s, but it is also about a car crash in the 50s.
Yeah. So, okay, let me just revise what I said. The song was written in 1961, but it was by some other guy he also re-recorded in 1963. The J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers version is from 1964.
Wow. It's a surprising kind of song to be a hit at that point, especially with the Beatles, the British invasion, really amping up at that point.
It was, but just because the Beatles were hugely popular doesn't mean that they overtook completely the charts.
Sure.
Although they did have the top 4 spots at one point, which is interesting.
But this song is, it's about a car crash. His love essentially dying in the car crash.
Yeah, no, so that's one of these dead man curve kind of songs.
I just said that though. It's not only a song that is about a car crash, but it's a song that you would hear after a car crash or in the 50s. Or early 60s.
You mean like in a movie or something?
That's what that's what I was saying.
No, I know you said that, but or that's just the association you have in your head of that kind of thing. But
that's movies and TV put that in my head.
You might. It's the kind of thing that you would. Yes, sure, something like that. But there's some interesting things going on in this song. I like the falsetto in the background. That's kind of happening throughout.
Sure.
That kind of a thing.
It's very interesting that it continues to happen even like to the tail end right before the choruses or at the end of the choruses. It's like you hear the tail of that.
No, yeah, it's also kind of interesting. It's almost like this, maybe they were trying to create, there's like a ghostly effect to it, maybe, if you will.
Well, it's almost as if his love is singing with him.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially during the choruses, because there is a high voice singing along with him,
But I don't think the actual person singing, I think, might have been a guy, actually.
One of the Cavaliers.
Yeah. But another thing I wanted to note is that the bass is very clear and loud. For 1964, that's pretty rare, actually.
But the bass is almost certainly an upright bass, right?
No, it sounds electric, actually.
I don't know about that.
I feel like it is. No, absolutely. No, it sounds electric, actually.
Maybe you're right. I don't know.
It sounds punchy like an electric.
Which is interesting
because it sounds like a punchy electric bass.
You hear, I almost feel like it's an upright bass that's mic'd very closely, but maybe I'm wrong.
You mean, maybe they compressed it a whole lot,
But it's interesting. The song is a mono, yet you can hear the bass very well, which is very unusual for the 60s,
Yes, it is very, yeah. Wait, what'd you say? Say it again.
It's in mono, but you can still hear the bass very well.
Yeah, no, the basses can be heard very loud and clear.
Also
pretty interesting. And it's, it's kind of a memorable bass line for that. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's hitting, typical chordal notes that are typical of this kind of a song.
Sure.
But it's still, nevertheless, that rhythm is, just kind of, you associate it with this song. At least I do,
Yeah, but, also the vocals are very heavily reverbed out, especially during the choruses,
Yeah, but what's also interesting is, at one point during the last chorus, the bass kind of drops out for a moment. I don't know if you listen to that.
Sure. Well, but it's also cool.
It went like boom, boom.
The drum beat alone, it's just a snare drum, and that's also pretty recognizable.
Right. It's not going da da da. It's going
right.
It's kind of a memorable beginning to this song, I guess maybe because it's being played with nothing else,
Yeah,
it's like the rhythm section starts it all out. And actually, there's a piano in this too that's taking that, in the late 50s, you would hear often that on a kind of a dampened guitar or a what is it called? Not dampened, kind of muted guitar strings, Right.
But
the piano is doing it in this song. Instead, I feel like the fact that we hear it on the piano instead, is it more of an indication? I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of theorizing here, but the fact that we don't hear it on the guitar is more of an indication to me that it's not the late 50s. I feel like they would have made the choice to do it on a guitar maybe if it was late 50s. But they chose the piano instead. Although at the same time, I am totally just... Actually, what am I saying? You know, I think Dream Lover uses it on a piano, actually. You know, I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't agree with it.
But it is in the background, though. It's pretty interesting.
Sure. There was one other thing I wanted to say, but I can't remember it. Well,
that's okay. I believe this was their only hit, and I think J. Frank Wilson actually died not too long, actually, after... I want to say after this song came out. No, maybe like a few years after. I think he...
Well, he joined his baby when he left this world, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing I was going to say.
Oh, yeah, that's what
There
I was
is a lyric in this that I have to quibble with. I kissed her my last kiss. I mean, come on. They can come up with something better than that.
Yeah, I agree. It's just...
I kissed her my last kiss. I mean, it just... This redundancy in, you know... in words, I just feel like wasn't a good lyrical choice there. It seemed a little lazy on that part. But for the most part, though, I really like the song a lot. You know, it's a great song.
Sure.
It's very catchy and very memorable.
I think that'll do it for this reaction video. If you like what you heard in Sauce today, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications to find out about more Max and Nicky reaction videos.
Please keep tuning in.